day all seven will die.
This is the Padres POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the San Diego Padres. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, Pods fan? Welcome to Padres POSTCAST and the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And for all the good days we've had lately, today was not a good day. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease, and the Padres went up in flames tonight at Chavez Distinco. They're 1-5 on the year against the Dodgers. The Dodger fans are rampant in the comments, and yeah, it was not a good night because Dylan Cease, his split personality came out again, and he starts walking everybody, man. 6 walks tonight, only a couple hits. Jackson Merrill dropped a fly ball, 2-run score. It was one of those nights for your San Diego Padres, but insult to injury, the loss drops them out of first place in the National League West, a game behind the Dodgers with 1 game left in the series to catch them and tie them tomorrow. And, of course, they play them a bunch more times coming up. And, yeah, they're going to need to. And that is something they've got to fix because Blake Snell kind of stuck it where the sun doesn't shine tonight on the Pods. And, you know, even though they didn't have a lot of hits, the Dodgers, that lineup's deadly, man. They find ways to score. Do they not? Do they not? 6-0, the final. Padres lose the first 2 games of this series. Dylan Cease was awful tonight. As good as he was, those 2 previous starts was god-awful tonight. And he just can't pitch like that anymore, man. He's too good. He's too good. He and Ruben Niebla, they got to figure this out. Dylan Cease is too good to be striking guys out like he does. The stuff he has is electric. He just has never really found his groove this year. I almost think he just doesn't have the right catcher. I really do, man. And there's nothing against Diaz or Maldonado or Fermin. And, you know, it's kind of a crap thing to say, you know, about catchers when you just think a pitcher doesn't have the right catcher. But you remember Greg Maddux and Eddie Perez and just some guys just like their own catchers. They have their own way. David Cohn only threw to Joe Girardi when he was on the Yankees and, you know, didn't want to throw to Posada early in Posada's career. There's things like that just happen, all right? And so with this, the Padres had a tough one. Dylan Cease hasn't been able to get it going. I might be grasping at straws. Who the hell knows? No Rake Blake. No one can hit Blake Snell, right? Dylan deceased tonight. The Pods 1-5 against the Dodgers, and they wrap up the series tomorrow. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. It's your Padres POSTCAST and the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team on day. We have a lot to unpack with this 6-0 loss tonight. So what do you say we kick it into high gear right about now?
This is what you'll be talking about.
This is what we'll be talking about. 5 runs in the first 2 innings for the Dodgers. That's what we're talking about. Dylan Cease, thank you very much. Again, Dylan Cease, bro. Like, what is the deal with Dylan Cease? I just cannot understand this dude. The stuff is electric, man. He's got some of the best stuff in the National League, as we know. We've seen it time and time again, but unfortunately, within the framework of the same game even, he's 2, sometimes 3 different pitchers, and I cannot figure it out. For the love of God. I mean, you start this game off with Fernando with a 6-pitch at bat, and he singles to right, had a couple more hits and a couple walks tonight. Fernando Tatis Jr. Louis Arise hits a ground rule double, man. And of course, Fernando gets caught stealing. Will Smith threw out 3 guys tonight. Big Wheel Styles all in it. You know what I'm saying? He's not slapping Chris Rock. He's throwing runners out. Different Will Smith, obviously, and he must hate his name at this point. But 3 runners thrown out by Will Smith, the first of which was Fernando in the first inning. And right after that, of course, Louis Arise hits a ground rule double, and you're thinking, dude, you could have scored. Machado, an infield single after that. So the top 3 guys get hits, and then they don't score. Merrill lines out to left. Manny gets thrown out stealing right after that. And then Xander Bogaerts will lead off the bottom or the top of the next inning. Meanwhile, the Padres, first 2 guys get hits. They don't score. That is a death blow in a game like this, against a team like this, playoff game if it happens. The intensity, the atmosphere, everything in that place is just locked in to the baseball on the field. World class, 2 amazing teams, first place on the line. You have got to score in that scenario. To have 2 of those guys, to have both those guys thrown out, trying to steal when you have a Rise, when you have Manny, when you have Jackson Merrill at the plate. Come on, man. You can't be running yourself out of innings. Now, you're not going to change who you are. You've been doing it all year, hit and runs, things like that. It's not always a caught stealing. There's a hit and run on, stuff like that. So 3 hits, no runs. Again, the first 3 guys got hits. One of them's a ground rule double. You do not score. That is the turning point in the game. Doc say it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You got to score in the top of the first inning there, because why? Great teams always make you pay, especially when your pitcher, who's got the best hair and mustache of any pitcher in the world, and that's about it. He walks the leadoff hitter, Shohei Ohtani. What does he do after that? He walks Mookie Betts. What does he do after that? He walks Will Smith. So Dylan Cease goes out and walks the bases loaded in the bottom of the fifth. That's inexcusable. I'm sorry. It's inexcusable for any. I'm not sorry. It's inexcusable for any major league pitcher to walk the bases loaded. Back to back to back. Inexcusable for a pitcher of Dylan Cease's talent level with the stuff that he has. Find the damn plate, bro. Find the damn plate. This is just ridiculous. At this point, I'm a grown-ass man, 53 years old, sitting here whining about another grown-ass man who can't throw a strike. He's a Boris client. I mean, you want to rake in that money. Dude, throw strikes, man. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing is what it is to have that kind of stuff and lose the way he does. And then Freddie Freeman flies out to left with the bases loaded. And then Teoscar comes up. Fly ball to right field. Fernando has a beat on it. He circles around. He's moving forward toward the line. As he's transferring the ball from his glove to his hand, has a little bit of a hiccup. The throw's way offline. Ohtani scores. Betts goes to third. What do you think happened next with Padres? I'm giving you one guess because you don't need 2, and you definitely don't need 3. He walked him. Big Willie style goes to second, and then Conforto singles to right. It's 3-zip Dodgers on 1 hit and no errors. Thank you, Dylan Cease, right? Padres come up, and of course, what happens? Bogarts leads off with a single. Then what happens? He gets thrown out trying to steal second. They ran themselves out of 2 innings in a row with this nonsense. Laureano grounds out. Cronenworth flies out. Blake Snell's in his rhythm now. You had a chance to get him early. You didn't get him. The Dodgers got you, and you know how this story ends. You've seen it time and time again. And then, of course, Ohtani walks. Smith walks again with Rojas flies out, Betts flies out in between, but 2 more walks for Dylan Cease. And then a fielding error by Jackson Merrill drops a fly ball. Now Fernando and Merrill were coming together, you know what I mean? And Merrill was in the front, more toward home plate, coming over from center, and Fernando coming this way. And reminder, I'm doing it this way, so you'll see it backwards. But Fernando stayed right behind him, circled in. Merrill would never use that as an excuse, but that's just like he called you off. Just stop running, stay the hell away, don't distract him. The wall's there, he's listening. You know what I mean? They make it look so easy all the time. It's hard as AF. You know what I'm saying? So Merrill, Ohtani, and Smith score on that. It's 5-zip, and the route is on. And then of course, top of the third, what happens with Blake Snell? 1, 2, 3, and Fernando. Backward K strikes out, looking to end the inning. Bottom of the third, Dylan Cease. Hey, line out, strikeout. Oh, here's Dylan Cease doing Dylan Cease things in a good way. And then in the top of the fourth, again, Arise with a leadoff walk. They can't do anything with it. And by this point, the Padres bullpen is in the game, and Morgan's in. And in the second inning of work, Cease started the fourth, ground out, and then Ohtani singles. Betts double play when Morgan comes in. He's been great lately. And then what happens? Snell gets him 1, 2, 3. Bottom 5 for the Dodgers. A ground out, another ground out, Smith and Freeman. And then Teoscar Hernandez, a home run to dead center off Morgan. That ends the scoring. And how about the Padres top of the 6th? A ground out. Fernando doubles. Arise grounds out. Tatis goes to third. Then he walks first and third, 2 outs. Jackson Merrill can't get the hit. Get the hit, you got to get the hit when you need to get the hit, and they just couldn't do that today. They're dropping fly balls. Fernando's throwing offline. They were off a little bit tonight, you know what I'm saying? And Dylan Cease set the tone. What a crap first inning he gave you. And then to just come out like that and not score in the top of the first when you have that kind of a threat, just a joke. It's a joke. And to run yourselves out of it the way that you did and give Will Smith a career night. And then from there, no more runs scored. Top of the 7th, you got an infield single from Laureano with 1 out. Nothing happened there. How about O'Hearn strikes out looking? Henriquez throws a 103.3 mile-an-hour fastball. And why is Jake Cronenworth still in the lineup? Why doesn't Arise go back to second? O'Hearn playing first. You know what I mean? Why? I just don't. I get it. You know what I mean? So then, nothing happens the rest of the game. Nobody's scoring. Padres, top of the 8th. For me, grounds out. Fernando walks. Arraez pops out. Machado strikes out. 9th, they go 1-2-3, a line out, a grounder, and a flyout. So they're 1-5 against the Dodgers. They're 0-2 in this series. But again, in the first inning, when you have that type of situation, when you have those 3 guys all with hits to start the game, and you just run yourself out of that inning, and you don't get Snell early, man. You had a chance. You do not get him. And then what does Dylan Cease do? Walk the first. Come on. He walks the first 3 guys. 6 walks from Dylan Cease. Just a bad job, man. Horrible. It's embarrassing. It is absolutely, he should be humiliated. He should be. He should be embarrassed to look at the deposit in his bank account at this point. He should be. To be 5-11 with that kind of stuff, the number of walks he's averaging per outing, 6 more tonight, only gave up 2 hits in 3 1/3. 3 earned runs, 6 freaking walks. And you know what? Don't give me that dropped fly ball crap. I understand those 2 runs scored and it's an error. I get it. But you're walking that number of guys in that short of a time. You're lucky that it didn't get 1,000 times worse. And your stuff being electric is like the only thing that saves you. Meanwhile, Blake Snell on the other side, 6 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. And again, you had his ass in the first inning. You had him, and you did not get him. And that's why you lost this game. And I don't know why I'm talking like this. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease, live on YouTube right here after every Padres game. And then as soon as the YouTube show is over, and by the way, you come in the chat and comment live during the show. As soon as the show's over, we upload, you download. Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean. You know the deal. It gets real. And then, of course, it's on Roku as well. You down with OTT. Yeah, you know me. It's not OPP at 53. But with the numbers huge, smash that like button. Give us a subscription. Subscribe to the channel. And then, of course, come on in and say what's up in the chat. And real quick before we hit the break, I'm a little bit late, but I want to remind you, all right, that we appreciate you. Obviously, we're free, and we love you guys being here day in and day out. But this is the same channel as Locked On Padres podcast with my man, Javier Reyes. Been building it up since pre-COVID, and he's here day in, day out, the ins, the outs, the ups, the downs, everything going on in Padre land. And then, of course, we are here live with the postcast right after every game. All right, I am going to hit some of the comments on the other side. Got a break. I'm not going anywhere. Neither are you. But what I am going to do is give you a couple of great deals from tremendous sponsors of ours. The line is out the door to be a part of this network. The deals that they give you as a result of being across our 200-plus shows on the Locked On Podcast Network, second to none. And, yeah, we got some trash being spoken and talked in the chat from the Dodger fans, but we'll get to that on the other side. We still have the turning point, the star of the game, and so much more. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease, Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And people always ask me all the time, yo, Grease, how do you have so much energy? And I'm like, dude, you know what I'm saying? I might be a little squirrely on the golf course. I might be like that ADHD dude. I'm way more like Happy Gilmore than a proper golfer, if you know what I'm saying. But for you, it is time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. That's right. It brings the bold grape, ginger, and lime flavor of your favorite golf drink, minus the alcohol, into a quick, energizing shot. So whether you're sinking birdies or just making memories with friends, this one's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Let's be honest, some days on the course or off it, you just need that extra boost to stay sharp and energized. Hello, look at me on the show here. You know, I mean, it could be a great day at the course. You know, you hit the pin on a chip from the fringe and it pops down in there. Maybe you bounce off a couple trees. Or how about those people who putt from like 50 yards off the green and just hit those worm burners and it gets close to the cup? You never know what kind of crazy or ridiculous shots you're going to see or take on the golf course. But we do know this. Golf is all about good times with good people, right? We know this, man. And good flavors complete the trifecta. Good people, good times, trifecta with the good flavors. Grape, ginger, lime flavor gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without chasing down the bev cart. And if you go to 5hourenergy.com today, that is the number 5hourenergy.com, you can use my promo code LOCKEDONGOLF to receive 20% off your first order. This offer is only valid until September 30th on one order and cannot be used with other promotions. The code is not good on subscription orders. But whether you're meeting up with friends or trying to turn 18 holes into 36, get the energizing boost you need to power through. Order transfusion-flavored 5-hour energy shots today on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And with that, oh, what a game changer this is. What a game changer. Most people, talking to you and me, most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, investments, and when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's why there's Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. You can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. So don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks on you. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONMLB. Link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet with Monarch Money. Locked On MLB, monarchmoney.com, half off your first year with Monarch Money on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team, yours, and only yours, and everybody else's every single day. Oh, we got some comments to get to before we wrap up the show, and I'm going to be quick, LA all day, not in a hurry to discuss this game, I guess. LAD better than San Diego, blah, 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 yak, 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 talk, 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 blah, blah, blah. Let's see, anything good in here? I mean, Dodger fans, you got to come better than that, man. This is just stupid trash talk. This is what happens when teams don't roll over for you. Oh, boy, Dodger fans gloating about the win. Let's go Dodgers. And the Rams won too, blah, blah, blah. San Diego, for sure they can sit down and stay depressed. Dodgers suck, can only beat the Padres. I like Eric J's music. Cease is trash, no fixing him. I don't believe that. He's been good in the past. He's got electric stuff. Just throw strikes, bruh. Nobody will give him big money playing this bad next year. Yeah, I mean, obviously he's got a big contract coming up. Bad managing decisions, running yourself out of innings, says Eric J's. Keep the face, says JDS third. LFGSD, there you go. Grit Squad will be back. I love it. Winners find solutions. I need 10-hour energy drink after this game. Drink 2. There you go. Number 1 was nice while it lasted. Jim, will drinking 2 or 3 hurt me? I'd say stick to 1. I mean, you could drink 2 or 3 if you want to, but obviously read the labels and do all that. I believe Cease will be a free agent. Yes, he will. Cease is a free agent. Yes, he is. Boom, 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 boom. Cease sucks against the Dodgers. Okay, there you go. That was fun, wasn't it? But we love that you take your time to engage and comment in the show. Smash that subscription, hit the bell, the like. Do it wherever you're listening to us or watching us right now. Again, I'm here live after every game with the postcast. We upload, you download right after that. Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, Roku. You download OPP? Hell no, G. It's OTT. It's free TV over the top with the Roku. Although OPP is still an option. I mean, pretty good for 53. Let's just say, you know what I mean? And we got another comment in the room right now. You do look great, Jim. No, I'm just kidding. They got to win tomorrow. Yeah, they do. They got to save some sort of face because what's happening here is you're developing an inferiority complex without even knowing it because you're 1-5. And later on down the line, when the games mean so much more, later on down the line, you might play this team again in the playoffs. Remember, you were up 2-1 on them in the playoffs last year, 2 games to 1. 2 games to 1. Came closer than anybody against them last year. And there's no consolation with that crap. Get the hell out of here with your participation trophies. Second place is the first loser, Pat Riley. Right? It probably hurts the worst to get all the way to the end and then lose like they did. And it wasn't the World Series. But you know what I'm saying? They had him on the ropes. Come on, they had him on the ropes. You know what I'm saying? All right. We got a couple of things to get to in a short time to do it. So let's get on to it.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
I already did this. I did this. You know what I'm saying? First inning, the Padres That's Chavez Ravine. You're 1-4 against the Dodgers coming in. You're tied for first place. Everything on the line. Playoff atmosphere. Flash bulbs everywhere. Well, it's cell phone cams these days, but you know what I'm saying. And Blake Snell on the mound. What do? And the Dodgers bullpen's been terrible, so you know if you get to Snell early, you got a good shot in this game. What happens? Fernando Tatis Jr. singles to right. Luis Ariz hits a ground rule double. Manny Machado hits an infield single. And what happens there? Nothing, because in between Fernando's and Ariz, Fernando gets caught stealing. And then after Machado reaches on an infield single, he gets caught stealing. So in the first 2 innings, Will Smith threw out 3 guys. But the turning point of this game, the Dodgers get out of that jam in the first. 3 hits, no errors, no nothing. No walks, just 3 hits in a row to start the game, and they get nothing. Then in the bottom of the first, Dylan Cease walks 3 guys in a row to start that inning, and the Dodgers take advantage to score 3 runs, go up 3-0. Doc say it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Sole possession of first for the Dodgers. See how that goes, which leads me to...
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
I mean, who's the player of the game? You know what I'm saying? Who is the player of the game for the Padres tonight? Fernando had a couple of hits, couple of walks. He was really good at the top of the order. So I definitely see Fernando coming alive right now, and this is a major, major thing for the Padres, obviously. So Fernando had 2 hits and a walk on base 3 times. You know, didn't score, though, and he did get thrown out stealing. So he had a pretty good game on a night when you only had 6 hits. And, man, the Dodgers only had 5. You know what I'm saying? It just was the dropped fly ball by Merrill and the walks from Dylan Cease. The best player on the field tonight was Blake Snell. He's 3-1, 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, no runs, 3 strikeouts, 96 pitches. It's unfortunate, but that's the way the Dodgers got it done tonight. And Will Smith gets an honorable mention, throwing 3 guys out on the base path. So there you have it right there with your star of the game. Tomorrow is I'm not going to almost said rubber matchup, but it's not, because the Dodgers won the first 2 games of the series. But to wrap it up tomorrow, 1:10 p.m., first pitch from Chavez de Stinkhole, and first place again on the line. You got Yu Darvish, and you're hoping he continues what he did his last time out. He's been one great start, one so-so, one bad one, terrible one, but then another real good one. Bouncing back 2-3 with a 5.61 against Tyler Glasnow, 1-1, 3.08. And let's see, the Padres at plus 135, the Dodgers minus 160 on the money line. On the run line, the Dodgers minus 1.5, the Padres plus 1.5. The total is 8.5, and the over is minus 105. The under is minus 115. That's all there is, Padre fans. There is no more. Your Padres postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. And yeah, it is crazy. What an unbelievable choke job by Dylan Cease yet again. An unbelievable choke job by Dylan Cease yet again. And it is crazy when I think about the things that he's done this year. I got to get out of here, but thank you so much for being here and making us your first watch or listen every day. Don't forget Javi with the podcast, and do not forget, Locked On MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube. Local analysis on a national scale every game, every night. You got to love that show. So for Javi, myself, everybody with the network, thank you for being here. We're free. YouTube, Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, wherever you listen. And, of course, Zero Coup. All right, Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease, Gries, at Jim Grease _, on social media. Thanking you profusely for being here. Reminds you to always keep your game tight and your mind right, baby. We are out. 6-0 Dodgers. Going for the sweep tomorrow. Maybe the Pods can get back into that tie for first. We'll talk to you tomorrow, right after the game, right here. Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.